UK, USA, Turkey, China, Bangladesh, or Eritrea are separated by hundreds of kilometers from each other. You would think that nothing makes them similar when it comes to the fast fashion production. That Western countries buy from the countries of Global South and that the countries of the Global South produce and sell for the Western market. But from the angle of the production of the fast fashion industry, all are the same. These countries have practically no difference at all. What makes these countries similar and why are they similar? In this video, I'm going to tell you why. Hello everyone, this is Asir Sorbekova, your guide to understanding matters of fast fashion and sustainable development the legal way. Did you only think that labor rights of garment workers of the fast fashion industry, human rights of workers, are violated only in developing or least developed countries? I am here to tell you that unfortunately, when it comes to the fast fashion industry, there is no difference between the production of garments in LA, as in Los Angeles and California, and, for example, Bangladesh. Los Angeles, for example, produces clothes for the world-famous brands such as Fashion Nova, Forever 21, and Bangladesh produces clothes for H&M, Mango, Zara, and the likes. That is to say, fast fashion blurs the lines and erases the frontiers between garment workers of the developed world and the garment workers of the developing world. I have made videos on fast fashion production supply chains in Bangladesh, Eritrea, Turkey, Romania, Eastern Europe, including UK and USA, in the case of the UK brand Boohoo, and USA, as I said, Forever 21 and Fashion Nova. So check out those videos which are in my channel. So, having looked at the production of fast fashion clothes in all these different countries, and they are different economic development-wise, culture and history-wise, I have come up to the conclusion that regardless of the level of the development of a country in question, whether the country is a developed country or a developing country or a least developing country, there is really no difference when it comes to the treatment of workers. Therefore, I came up with the following 8 traits that to me are common in the garment industries of various countries that produce clothes for fast fashion brands. First, lowest salaries both in the world and in those countries. We know that garment workers, they are paid so little that they have not much left at the end of the month and that they barely make ends meet. So this is trait number 1, regardless of where these workers are located. The second trait is about the poor regulation of hours of work. Excessive overtime is actually something that is common in the fast fashion industry's garment workers situation. Third, it's about underpaying or not paying for all those overtime and excessive hours of work that these workers usually have to implement. Fourth, payment by piece as opposed to giving them a fixed salary that corresponds to the needs of these workers. Not only these workers, but that corresponds, that meets the requirements of the national average salary. Trait number 5, poor working conditions, some of which may amount to an inhumane, degrading treatment. As, for example, in not allowing workers to use a restroom for extended hours, not allowing them to leave their workspace for a break, setting extremely short lunch breaks for 15 minutes or so, harassing them and pressuring them to finish the workload, even by requiring them to do uninterrupted shifts, passing to night shifts immediately from day shifts. Trait number 6, discriminating them on the basis of their origin or background, which is, for example, the case of undocumented or illegal immigrant workers, or even legal workers, but of a foreign background. For example, in the case of UK, USA, and Turkey. In Turkey, the case of Syrian refugee workers. And another type of discrimination is on the basis of their gender. Usually, female workers are discriminated against because of their gender. And what they encounter is being assaulted and all types of other unpleasant, attitudes towards them. Number 7, hiring children and very young children. Here's the problem of child labor. In international human rights law and international labor law, hiring children when they attain a certain age is not a problem as long as they do not perform a physically difficult, hazardous work, or that the work is not bad for their mental well-being and physical health as well. And as long as bearing in mind that these conditions are fulfilled, they work certain amounts of hours that are, that are considered as normal for that child, that do not exceed a certain hourly limit. However, the situation with child labor in the fast fashion industry is that children are exposed to working extensive hours, thus by missing school and by being subjected to mental and physical abuse, being beaten up, screamed at, cursed at, and just being in a very bad environment that is not child friendly, that because of the fact that they just didn't perform well. They made a technical or whatever error at the job, and just for this could be for any simple reason. And number 8, undermining occupational safety and health and letting workers work under precarious conditions of work. Occupational safety and health is a very important element of the right to work, as it is linked to the protection of one's right to health and right to life, not just to the right itself, but to the very existence of the worker. Imagine working in dangerous conditions and hope that you will be okay at the end of your work shift. Imagine getting to work through slums and shaky stairs and just a muddy and very dirty path that leads to your workspace, and walking under electric wires. And that is often the case for garment workers in today's reality, because let us remember what happened at the Rana Plaza factory collapse and the Tazreen factory fire, as well as Ali factory fire. This includes working in a room that has no window, for example. Having a window is actually very important for the fresh air to circulate and for people to be able to breathe. And for example, absence of emergency door and other examples, of course. I have just given you 8 characteristics that are common for the production of garments for fast fashion brands, regardless of the country of origin. Bear in mind that a presence of all these 8 traits may vary from country to country, and some countries may have all of these 8 traits present in their garment industry, whereas others may have only some of these ones. Third ones may have more than 8. It can also be that some of these traits are not as widespread in country A as in country B. But what remains true and undisputed for garment workers of all these countries is that they are paid very low salaries that do not reflect living conditions, living expenses in those countries, and that they are working in poor conditions and with very excessive working week. Violation of human rights and abuse of workers' rights and environmental damage is a usual phenomenon when it comes to the fast fashion industry, regardless of the location of garment factories. This is because fast fashion brands have built a business model according to which they do not hire workers, but work with local garment factories or sweatshops who are employers of these workers. That, in a way, helps them to avoid direct responsibilities. They, fast fashion brands, do so on purpose and seek out these places and hide there and thrive like bedbugs. And it takes a lot of time, years, until a situation in that place changes, until the government adopts a legislation in that country, or fast fashion brands are put in front of the public eye and are ashamed and named. And in order to avoid this kind of attitude towards them, public shaming, they try to make an effort. And that's why what is happening is that they are now inventing these labeling called conscious, what else, committed, and all types of similar labelings. Until then, until their dirty deeds and dirty practices get discovered, like bed bugs get discovered after a certain time, kiss goodbye to the protection of labor rights. That's all for today. For videos on fast fashion and matters of sustainable development, subscribe to my channel. And join me every Sunday by 10 a.m. CT. And also smash the like button and leave a comment down below. And please excuse me for the video quality. I just realized that the camera was misplaced. I'm still figuring out stuff here on YouTube. It's a new channel. I just realized that the filming was made from the neck and not from the level of shoulders. So apologies for that. This will be fixed. Thank you for watching. I hope you will take care and see you next time. Bye.